G'day and welcome to the 68th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. I'm Log Power Slave, and as always, I am joined by Real-Time Sloth and Mylan Hollywood Games. How the fuck are you doing, dudes?
Mate, I think I'm above this podcast
Yeah,
now.
dude.
I don't know. I've sent you my resignation letter. I'm moving on to bigger things.
Yeah, and rightly
Destiny's
so.
dead.
I mean, Sloth and I have been punching above our weight for quite some time, and we've been found out in a big bad way. But as always, we've got a whole heap to discuss. Discuss.
Disgusting.
Maybe we're also
Absolutely
disgusted with a whole heap of things. That's completely fine, and it is basically what we do here anyway. So, dudes, quick recap. How's your week been? What's been going on?
I've been pretty good. I started, like, I think I mentioned last week that I was going to set some new goals for Twitch, and whilst the YouTube Destiny channel starts to sink, just sort of not stress so much about that and still make content for it, but not fucking break my back to push stuff out. And I've been working hard during the day on the PhD and getting some streams in at the night, and I'm just taking that easy too. I'm just streaming whatever I feel like playing. But I'm there consistently. So that's been really fun to actually just, I don't know, just remove some of that pressure of just content creation and this has got to get X amount of views or I won't be happy and all that kind of stuff, and just stream what I want. And that's been quite relaxing. And on the DCP podcast yesterday with all that game, and that was tremendously fun. So that was cool. And that's about it.
Nice, man. Nice. Slothy, what have you been doing?
Same shit, different day.
The end.
The end.
No, I've been. What the fuck did I do this week?
You've been streaming a lot. You've been on Sea of Thieves. You've been on Vermintide.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Tarkov.
This week is it's been a large week spent on stream. But if I'm to be perfectly honest, it hasn't been particularly memorable. It's just been a really good week. I just know there wasn't anything that sort of shined out as a top point of mine.
Me and you had a great time in Sea of Thieves. You gonna deny me that?
Do you want me to fucking link that Twitch clip again? Fuck.
Arguing about chickens?
Okay. No, did you not see it on Twitter? The one where fucking Matt jumped into the cannon and was just like fucking around in the cannon, so I shot him off the fucking starboard side. He went 100 fucking miles out the water.
Beautiful.
He's like, Slaw, why did you do this?
No, that's beautiful. That's what that game's about, I think. Just finding more elaborate ways to fuck with your mates.
Well, I mean, this is true, but no, that was a good point. But no, I'm not saying the week has been bad by any stretch of the imagination. It just hasn't been like it's been. I remember feeling good throughout the whole week, but it's just been one of those weeks that nothing really jumped out at me. I've spent fucking 6.5 hours playing Siege last night with a few really good friends of mine, and that's about it. Honestly, that's about it.
We did have our big night playing Vermintide last Saturday night, which feels like forever ago now.
That was
Oh yeah,
a big night. That was a fun night.
Yeah,
that was
a shit face. So did Danny, I think. Danny was playing Vermintide too.
Yep. And I ended up severely hungover on Sunday. I was not much good to anyone, but I had a good time at the time. I don't remember all that much of it, but I've been told that I looked like I was having fun, so that's probably the most important takeaway from it all. Now, it's been a hell of a week in the Destiny community as a whole. There's not been a lot of news on the actual news front, but there has definitely been a lot to talk about coming over the last few days. So what we might do is just quickly cover off on the TWAB, and then we'll get into everything else after that. TWAB this week, there is not a whole lot of stuff in it. There is new Nightfall rewards. They're exclusive Nightfall rewards. They're not telling us what they are. Go and find them, and you will be a hero, apparently. I mean, you can show off and you can be the first person to get them. Be famous.
Well, I mean, that sounds cool, like linking bosses to... I mean, we had it before, strike-specific loot.
Yeah, I know, right?
But in the Nightfall, and this is what I hope, this is what I mentioned on DCP, was if that boss drops strike specific loot, can we please have a lore tab with that strike specific stuff to tell the story of that boss? Like why is he there? What is he or she doing? What's their background? So it has some meaning.
Wait, you think that Destiny can fucking write lore when they relied on fucking lore content creators for the better part of 4 years?
No.
Hey,
they can write lore. We didn't write it. We just put it together.
Yeah, you guys put it together, but they
Jesus, what are we? We're fucking 4 minutes in and Sloth's already resigned an argument.
My decision. I remove.
No, I mean, you're right, Matt. If they can do that, and like, because there are interesting characters. I want to know more about the arms dealer. I'm like, what does an arms dealer do? I just assumed that they were all soldiers. Like, is this guy, just Nicolas fucking Cage from Lord of War, like going around doing what he does, or
Yeah, that's it. I didn't even think about that. Even though it's the name of the mission, I didn't even think that he was the arms dealer.
Exactly.
Is he the arms dealer?
He's an arms dealer. I think so. That was the way I understood it. But they don't explain anything, so how do you know? There you go.
Yeah. Well, there we go, guys. Look, you have a very happy Merlin if that fucking happens.
All right, the other thing that was in the mix. Sorry, Sloth, you were going to say?
It's just I don't believe that I am losing faith really fucking quickly, and we'll get into that reason why of that later on in the cast. But I'm losing faith. What little faith I had left with Bungie. So I don't. I will continue to have good memories of the game, but yeah, I'm losing faith pretty fucking quickly at the moment. But yes, please go on.
So the other thing is a timeout for competitive dropouts. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Half an hour, sit on the sidelines if you're dropping out of competitive games. I think it's something that they probably should have had a long time ago, because it's that kind of game type. If you can't join in progress, there should be a penalty for ditching and, leaving your team at a disadvantage. What do you guys think?
I think as long as they have a reconnect button, like they do in a lot of games, which penalizes you from dropping out in case your internet drops out and you actually have an option to rejoin. So there needs to be a rejoin match button just to compensate for accidental dropouts. And we talked about this yesterday. I think the PvP is in a real weird spot with competitive, and some of the guys would leave matches because they'll do a solo queue and be stacked against the same team, and it's like, well, we're just going to get stomped. So there might be a portion of players that won't go in anymore because they're solo. So it sort of does force you to be competitive, like it does force you to go in with a team, because you're not going to have an option to like basically see if you're against a full stack and just dip out, which is probably a good thing. But I think the PvP population could take even more of a hit, like if you just can't leave and there's a penalty for that, maybe you're always going to have to go with 4. And if you don't have 3 other buddies, then
you won't play it, or you'll play quick.
You're not going to play it.
I mean, I can't remember honestly the last time I played competitive anyway. Like
the last time I played competitive was with you guys in the beta.
Fuck.
Last time I played competitive.
Thanks for bothering to create that, Bungie. Just
the last time we played competitive log was probably maybe 3rd or 4th week of trials, when everyone was still complaining about the meter.
Yeah, true.
Like it was just
I think my personal taste, I don't really like arena shooters like Destiny. I like other PvP games. Like I like Tarkov. I like Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know. Arena shooters don't do it for me. I don't know why.
It's. I hate to pinch something out of the chat there now, but Destiny 2, I must elaborate that it is Destiny 2, just doesn't feel relevant to me anymore. Really doesn't. But we'll get into that later on. So, gentlemen, outside of the news, there's not really much in the much moving in the moving at the station in regards to Destiny 2. So we might as well move into What Destiny 2 and what Bungie, the effects of Destiny 2 being so subpar at release, what the effects are on the community. So if you haven't heard, ladies and gentlemen, the podcast and the YouTube channel of Planet Destiny are no more.
Yep.
They have, the website is still up, but the podcast and the YouTube channel of Planet Destiny are no more. One of the biggest players going in regards to information dissemination out there for Destiny is now dead. Legitimately, it doesn't exist anymore. So, Bungie. I'm gonna direct this not at someone at Bungie, but Bungie as a whole. You guys have a lot to answer for as a company in regards to the development of Destiny 2.
Well,
it's
one of those things. Like we can shit on Bungie all we want, and clearly there's been enormous amounts of like there's been directions taken that were clearly the wrong ones. There has been a gulf in content and reasons to play and all of that shit. There is really right now an absolute perfect storm of things being a bit shit. The lore is a bit shit, and the lore is always the thing that's sort of held on, that, you know, as people have sort of had more interest in the tough times. I mean, you know, you'd only have to go back and look at some older episodes talking to Matt about it, that, you know, his channel would be picking up in the times when there was actually not that much to do in the game and people started to really take an interest in these kinds of things. So, I mean, we're at this point now where this would be the point right now where that would be stepping up, and it is not there at all. There is, you know, the lore community is fractured and, I mean, for the better part, you know, disseminated and disinterested in what they're offering. The PvP community doesn't want a bar of it and has moved on to Fortnite. The PvE is really fucking repetitive, and, you know, like a guy like Goth even is saying, well, you know, it's not substantial enough to keep me playing it because it's boring. Like, on every front, they've fallen short, and Planet Destiny and what's happened to them right now is the first enormous symptom. I mean, we've seen content creators move away through necessity. You know, a lot of those PvP streamers and stuff have, you know, they've been gone for a while now. They've been gone for months. But we're talking like the biggest resource in, you know, it's like that and Destiny Tracker are really it, outside of, you know, the official things are probably the two big standpoints of, you know, these were the resources you went to if you played Destiny. And one of them has just and gone, this is not worth our time anymore. We are gone. Now, that was a business decision by whoever runs it. We don't know who it is. There was a question raised pre-stream. Who the fuck runs Planet Destiny? We don't know. But, you know, all of the content creators that were currently working on it are saying that they're going to continue creating content. But still, I mean, for them to, you know, just up and shut the whole fucking thing down, it is a tragic sign for the state of this community and this game at the moment. There is no, make no mistake.
I think
hang on
everyone
a second.
Gone.
I was just about to say, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, I still love Destiny. Bungie are, their actions in the past have been excellent, but I am disappointed in them. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest to make sure that people don't go, oh, Sloth hates Destiny. No, I don't.
No, we understand it. They're a company, and they're a company of individuals that, you know, like, you can't be 1,000,000% right every time, and 1,000,000% isn't even a number, but still.
I think the shocking thing about Planet Destiny is anyone in the Destiny community knows Planet Destiny. Everyone has memories of Planet Destiny. I have memories of, you know, them being a competitor when I was starting my YouTube channel and like looking to their content to see how they were managing things, because they were always, you know, a step ahead. They were always being successful. They were always something to look up to in the community, and they had a range of content creators that were part of that. And, you know, we actually had Twitter questions yesterday about Planet Destiny directed at the DCP guys, and most of you'll know, you know, they came over from Planet Destiny, and some of the most well-known sort of names from Planet Destiny that moved from Planet Destiny to start the Destiny Community podcast. And, you know, that was what they said, is like, that was our heritage. That was our roots. You know, there's no bad blood between us and Planet Destiny. That's where we got our opportunity to meet each other and to build. And, you know, we started, you know, content creation. And, you know, like definitely was like, I didn't even know if I was interested in content creation. I didn't even know if I wanted to do it. And I made a video and put it on Planet Destiny, and just speaking with people and seeing it go out there was what sort of made me decide to be a content creator. Now he's a huge, you know, he's got a huge platform on Twitch, and a lot of them, you know, that's their start and their roots. And I think a lot of people feel that way in the Destiny community. That was like the starting point because they're so synonymous with Destiny. So I think everyone's got a little bit of sadness to see something so big be just sort of cut away so quickly and so suddenly, but it's also not surprising.
Not at all.
I didn't have much to do with Planet Destiny, but when you first told me about it, Log, I was like, holy shit, that's huge. Like, I thought that would be one of, say, a particular company, a particular company per se, that would be around for as long as Bungie have been around for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Bungie,
for me, it seems like it is huge in the context of like that YouTube channel alone has literally more followers than any other fucking Destiny related content creator, right? Like it's fucking enormous, and for them to go nah, and just nope out. I mean, obviously, if they're a corporation and they're paying people and all that sort of shit, they have significant overheads that like Matt doesn't on, you know, running his ship solo. So, you know, it's a different proposition. But at the same time, we're talking a game franchise that has been touted as a 10-year franchise, and we're 4 years into it, and the biggest resource goes, nah, I'm not even bothering with this shit anymore. You know, like that is fucking damning, man. Like that's as bad as like what worse? What worse could happen?
And especially so close to the next DLC. Like in my business mind, I've given Destiny until DLC 2 because I think it is in a really bad shape, but they could pull a rabbit out of the hat, and it's probably unlikely. But just in case, you know, that is for me the real cutoff. The fact that it's just like, nope. Even before the next one's on the 27th of March, it's 3 days away before they release more patch notes. Do you know, that's even bigger to say we don't even trust you to do right with the DLC 2, that we're not even going to bother to cover that, even though we know that there will be an influx. That will be the next biggest peak of influx of players in the last 6 months.
You know what? I was speaking to someone about this last night, actually. Is so Tuesday, there are a lot of people are there's gonna be an influx of players come back because of the update. It's a PvP based update. It is what it is. And then the 2.0 update, if I remember the roadmap correctly, it is 27th of June. Thereabouts. Sure. Anyway,
yeah.
I'd have to check.
I drink too much to remember this shit, Sloth. Sorry.
Yeah. But no. But I have to. That's thereabouts. But people are saying that if the DLC doesn't shine, some people would be willing to give it a go if they did like a TTK-esque update in autumn, America's autumn. If that makes sense.
If they did anything, it would need to be free. I feel like if this...
It would have to be, 100%.
Like, this DLC, I think, if it's just as good as Destiny 1, right? If it just sort of reaches that level, like, hey, this is sort of fun again, I don't think they'll see massive jumps in players returning. I think they'll stay for a month and then they'll bugger off. But I can't imagine people putting more money into it. Like, they would need... If they did okay at this next DLC, I feel like they would need to release a TTK free expansion at the end of the year where everything's fixed. And as a peace offering to the community to say, we are sorry that this didn't reach your expectations.
This is the thing, is that everything can't be fixed. There is no This is like I don't want to exacerbate the problem that is in the forums and Twitter just now. It's just like fix everything. Do you know anything about game development? I don't.
No.
Log doesn't. Matt doesn't. You know, like it's a lot more to it. Now I'm not excusing Bungie, and in any stretch of by any stretch of the imagination, but game development is difficult. You can write a whole DLC, get it all done. If one particular coder has a bad day or didn't get his 17th cup of coffee that day, he might have put a 1 instead of a 0, a 0 instead of a 1, and the whole game could derp in on itself and just be like, I don't know what to do.
Look, that be that as it may, right? I think the thing that I'm coming to now is the realization, like, the thing that whenever I think about Destiny, I think, how could no one have fucking seen this coming? Or did Bungie see it coming and they did it anyway? Like, honestly, how could no one go, oh my God, this is nowhere near the level that it needs to be. And people were so hyped. You want a Bungie whistleblower?
I want a Bungie whistleblower to just come out and fucking leak all the crazy shit that happened and just some explanation. That's what I want.
You know what? I'm gonna sort of come out and say that it's not just Activision. It's just that Bungie. It's not just Destiny 2. Bungie is caught up with Activision. Activision, one of the biggest publishers on the planet, and they may have said we need to get this shit out pronto. And Bungie was just like, yeah, no worries. Let's money, go make it the prettiest game ever. But don't really have anything else to follow up on that.
It's still Bungie's responsibility to manage their timelines. And from everything that's come out, it seems like they had a really big setback really close to release date, a year out again. And the same thing. And, that's as Bungie's, technically an employee of the big boss being Activision, it's their responsibility to make sure they've got good leaders and they manage their timeline and produce good content. And it sounds like they made the same mistakes they did in Destiny 1 and we're in the same position again.
Pretty much.
But valid point, boys. Big Grizzly in the chat. Sorry, we're not taking questions from chat right now, but I just thought I'd bring this up because it's very aptly worded and a very serious point. Is that Paul Tassi from Forbes made a Twitter post about their recent article. Destiny is so weird. Super dead, yet a D2 article can still get 5,000 views in an hour. This is a fan base that is dying for the series to revive itself and flourish again. Absolutely, 100%. Do you know how many content creators and YouTubers, Twitch streamers, YouTubers, Mixer streamers would go back to Destiny in a goddamn heartbeat because of the fucking memories from D1?
Oh, dude! I mean, like you've got to consider this too. That Destiny was a polarizing fucking game when it first came out. Right? Among groups of friends, among my immediate friends, people I know in real life, the day Destiny 1 launched, there was 4 of us that went, no, I'm in, I'm playing this game, I played the beta and I fucking love it. And then there was 3 of us that went, nah, I hate it, it's shit. And it went bang that way. And it's been 4 years of us, like every time we're at the pub, someone going, well, how's fucking Destiny going? Which, I mean, admittedly, the last few months has been kind of a hard question to answer, but... it has been polarized, and it galvanized the Destiny community into what it became. It became a really fucking staunchly supportive, tight-knit community where content creators knew each other. There was pretty good dialogue from Bungie too, and, we were getting enough to get us by in terms of content releases and shit like that. We had to wait, but they were there. I don't know. I mean, now, people are just, people would draw back to that. It would not take fucking... I don't know. I mean, it would take significant development and progress, but people would be recalled to that because, people are it's their thing. It's like your sporting team, your thing. I've fucking played Destiny.
Yeah, I think in my mind with dividing up what the population looks like at the moment, there's a small amount that are still playing it and are like, it's fine. And maybe some of them haven't played Destiny 1. It's it's an okay game, but for everyone who's played Destiny 1, it didn't meet expectations. And then there's a portion of people that played a lot of Destiny 1. Destiny 2 fell short, but even though they're not sort of actively playing, they are still very willing to give it a shot. And I think that portion is still relatively large. And then there's a portion of people that have already had a gut feel and are not coming back. Right. And I think that DLC 2 were either people that are like, I'll give it another shot. They're either going to jump on board again, or they're going to enter into the, I've had a gut feel, I'm not coming back now.
This is the thing, is that yes, I fully agree with that. The number of people who have had a gutful is growing by the daily.
Yes.
Yeah, like, and I'm not pointing fingers at anyone or anything like that. However, there are people that have gone from I will support Destiny until Destiny is no longer a thing to comparing. And this is the thing that people need to stop doing. Stop comparing Fortnite to Destiny. Two completely different games. One's a BR. One's a BR. I'm talking about the BR, not the PvE. One's a BR that is very popular, and that Epic can afford to drop all of the updates, like 1 or 2 a month. Stop.
It's got one map. It's got one map. No progression system. It's a third-person shooter. It's like, it's not even in the, like, yeah, it's a game being fucking championed by a big fucking outlet. Jeez, I'm swearing a lot, aren't I? I might fucking tone that in. But you know, like, I agree with Sloth in that it's not a direct comparison. It's not apples and apples. It is an example of how you can do it better, and Bungie need to be fucking looking at that. Like, that is, they are the chin-up example of how to do it right now.
Yeah.
No, the only thing that Epic Games...
Go on,
sorry, mate, go on. First. Okay. The only thing that Epic Games, that you can compare between Bungie and Epic Games is their communication with the community. They're back and forth with the community. Okay, like you can't compare the two. It is comparing apples to fucking baby wars.
Yeah, no, but I don't know if people are I don't know if people are doing that. Like, the comparisons that I make is like market comparisons, and you know, like that is what's happening in this climate. There are really popular PvP games, and as a sort of a market thing, they're sucking up a lot of, you know, content creators, a lot of Twitch streamers, a lot of people that can get on and they can play PvP, and they might now prefer to do Fortnite rather than to get on and have a couple matches in the Crucible. In fact, I can guarantee that most people, if they are playing, you know, like, they're going to pick Fortnite over Destiny at this current state. So my comparisons sit in like a market area, and also, like, Fortnite, I think, demonstrates how quick a developer can work when their foundation is set really right. Fortnite doesn't need to fix all this shit. It doesn't need to. The foundation was beautiful.
Updates.
Yeah, and then it has this big impact. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, Fortnite did a 20v20 mode. Fortnite did a 50 versus 50 mode. Fortnite did a blitz round. Fortnite added golden guns. Fortnite added, like," and that's because they can put their resources into developing the game, not just fixing it. And I think that's my comparison. Is Bungie has so much fixing work to do, they actually can't move forward.
I never thought about it that way, and it's a fucking banging example, isn't it? Like, if the foundation of Destiny 2 was right, and everyone at Bungie right now was working on making more shit for us to do, rather than just like, oh my god, you're getting fucking 15 Helm of Saint 14s every night. Like, for fuck's sake. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's alarming. It's alarming that it can be this far off, and it's still, like, I mean, it would have caused complete and utter fucking chaos, but if they'd taken Destiny 2 and gone, nah, we need to fucking fix this and it's going to take 6 months, and they completely put it back 6 months, I think it would have been far better received had they been able to churn out content and not add a lot of the issues that it has. Because I think people's most aggressive complaints about Destiny 2 are when something was in fucking Destiny 1 and it isn't in Destiny 2. Like, you know, like, we didn't have this problem with exotics in Destiny 1, but we've got it now. They had systems like Festival of the Lost had the system where you didn't get duplicate drops. Like, just get that code, put it in the game. Sure, it's not that simple, but when things like that are happening, and that is really, that's what shits me off. It's like, I'm like, well, you had it fucking solved in a game that came out in 2014. What's the deal? How did you not port that into the new one?
It's very confusing, but again, you can't really. A lot of people do have game development knowledge. The three of us do not. So
yeah, I'm not.
We can.
I'm
We
not.
can. We. No. I'm not having a go. I'm not having a go. But what I'm saying is that if you don't have knowledge on it, get yourself learned, and get yourself learned, and really like, don't just fucking be one of those people that spout shit on Twitter, because that's a good way for people, especially friends of yours who do still like the game or like the premise of the game. It's a good way to get muted, blocked, unfriended, demodded, unsubbed, unfollowed, deported, you know, all that sort of thing. Like, fuck off.
The other thing is, if you've got an opinion, say it's your opinion. Don't go out and just like paraphrase things and make up facts. Because I'm seeing a lot of that. They're like, this is shit. No, your opinion is that it's shit. It's not shit. It's just, it is what it is. But I don't know. I read a lot less Twitter now than I used to, because it's fucking not a very friendly place to be.
At the end of the day, we say all this stuff, but we are still in the category of we are happy to give it another chance, and we still want it to succeed. I think that is the full stop on that. Is we do have all these criticisms. No, we're not game developers, but we are still in the category that we want Destiny to return to its throne.
Absolutely. And I mean, I wish everyone at Bungie all the best with respect to doing that. And I don't, you'd be pretty fucking hard pressed to go back through my Twitter feed and find me blowing up about something, because I just sort of, I don't know. It's like, I'll do it here because it's a forum and we're discussing things, but I don't shoot hate out into the ether. I think the other thing that, I mean, fair's fair. Like, the tone of our podcast has changed over this preceding, since Destiny 2 launched, and there was a lot of negativity around. I don't think we've ever said to anyone, don't have negative opinions on things, but the only thing we've ever said is just don't be shit to one another about it. That's the only thing we've ever had a problem with. And really where we are now in this community, it's really hard to find someone that doesn't have a negative opinion, and it's fine to have one. Just phrase it well and don't be a dick about it. That's all we've ever asked.
Let people enjoy things is basically the general gist of it. So, speaking of games, i.e. like Destiny and content creators out there moving away from it and really struggling to find their place in other directories and all that sort of thing, a lot of people recently have been making the move to Mixer. That is one point that I wanted to bring up and have a discussion about with you fellas. Is that where the three of us are on Twitch. So a lot of my friends and a lot of a few big former Destiny mains per se have made the move to Mixer. So you're talking Angry Iceberg, you're talking Kevin, K-Magic 101. Now, if you're not sure what Mixer is, guys, Mixer is the Microsoft-owned streaming platform. It was made in direct competition to Twitch. It's a big thing. It's an interesting platform. Now, let me give you a little bit of background here. It did start off as Beam. It has been rebranded and improved upon and so forth. One thing that's drawing people across there is the fact that it's a community that hasn't been touched. It's like a resource that we're not sure what to do with, but it's kind of like Twitch. So we're going to take our people over there because maybe Mixer and Microsoft will look after content creators a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying Twitch doesn't.
Twitch is pretty good at that, though.
Twitch is good about that, but there are certain things that Mixer does better than Twitch, i.e. like there is no... so technologically wise, it is superior to Twitch as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
The delay is
streaming quality.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The streaming delay is negligible, and I mean like less than 2 seconds.
Is that because there's less people? Like, will that change? It becomes more popular?
It's their technology. It's their technology.
Interesting.
Super fast, light something or other. I can't remember exactly what it is.
So that's one. What? Tell me. I don't know anything about it. So that's one big, because obviously audience interaction. The delay is really.
So depending on where you stream. So if you look at Twitch right now and you go into your favorite directories, you have the biggest dudes on there, and they have encoding options. Mixer has encoding options, I get encoding options because I stream in the middle of the night because I'm a fucking vampire.
Can you explain encoding options? Where are these options?
So encoding options is when you click on you. So if I go, I'm going to go watch. So Mylan's a partner now, so that's a bit different. So I'm going to go watch Log tonight, and Log is streaming. And if I go, oh shit, my internet's being a bit arse, and he's streaming in 1080p, maybe I want to watch in 720p or 720p 30 frames. That's the encoding options from 1080 all the way down to 160p.
Okay, so like on Destiny Down Under right now, we only have 720p and auto.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm broadcasting this in 720p, so it's the only option. If we were to be bigger or have more viewers, they do like on the fly let people do it. Like what Soth's saying, because of when he streams, he gets the encoding options without being partnered. It's a standard option for all partners. So on your channel, Matt. Same thing. You load that up. Oh, hang on. I'm getting a lot of buffering. I can drop the quality down to 480p. It's all managed by Twitch, and that's what happens.
But you're telling me if someone puts it on auto, it won't drop it down to whatever the internet connection can handle?
Auto will automatically drop it to what your internet connection can handle. So if I'm watching 3 Twitch streams, I've got something downloading on Steam. The girls are doing their thing out there.
You can put it on auto.
Yeah, correct.
And
you can put it on auto.
So it's just more control for viewers. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably useful if you've got data.
Regardless.
Data issues and stuff.
Yeah, Mixer have done figured them out to a point where everyone has encoding options. May not be the full suite of encoding options, but they are there. So like I said, your K-Magic 101, your Angry Iceberg, there are a few big names.
Too?
Yeah. There's a few big names who have made the jump. I will find a list and I'll put it up on Twitter as well. But good friends of ours, both guests on the cast, A Fractured Winky and Static Oz have both made the jump as well.
Chook's been there for a bit.
Chook's been there for a bit. Ladman's gone across. And the reason why they've gone across is because, A, they don't think their communities are growing. So I've spoken to a few of them. They think their communities aren't growing at a rate that they think that they are happy with. And they think it's not they think. I'm not saying that they're wrong. They believe that it's an untapped resource over on Mixer. So my thought process is, like, I'm not the smallest streamer out there. I'm not the largest by any stretch of the imagination on either front. I don't have any. Twitch doesn't owe me anything, and I don't owe anything to Twitch. However, I won't be moving to Mixer for the sheer fact that I don't think my community, personally would make the jump with me. It's like starting from scratch. Like if you're a partner, and you're a partner not because you're a partner through an esports team or not because you're a partner through YouTube, but if you're a partner who did the 75 viewer concurrent viewers, blah, 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 blah. They're doing partner for partner. So leave a partner as from Twitch, become a partner on Mixer. You're not losing out on anything. Yeah. You're not losing out on anything or anything like that. But if you're like a size of myself or Log or any of the other people out there, you are basically starting from scratch. And it's pretty rough starting from scratch on any streaming platform. The one other thing that smaller streamers are really liking as they go over there is they have a front page per se for smaller streamers to be noticed by people. So the splash page for Mixer is up and coming streamers. Not the following, not who you're following, or not who's on the front page because they're large and making Mixer money, but like they actually want smaller creators to be found, if that makes sense. I think that is absolutely wonderful, and I can understand why people are making the jump. But it's definitely not something that I'll do. But guys, what do you?
Well, look, I've just gone over and had a quick look at the page, and look, when you were talking, my first reaction is, YouTube is one of the largest platforms online, and they added YouTube gaming and streaming, and who does that anymore? Like, and you already have all these content creators that have massive audiences, and they couldn't get the kickstart to happen on YouTube gaming, in my opinion. Like, I don't see anyone really stream on YouTube, but maybe I'm just not part of that. So that's interesting that YouTube couldn't achieve that as one of the biggest platforms. So my first sort of response was, well, how is Mixer going to do that? But looking at their page and looking at sort of the numbers and content creators that are already there, you know, they've people, there's an audience there. There's people watching. There's people getting
100%.
subscribers, and you know, it is very appealing for newer content creators or even people like me that sort of have some Twitch following, but it's very jumbled. You know, like I started my Twitch channel when it was Destiny, and I started with Destiny lore streams, and now I'm trying to change direction, and you know, your viewership isn't there anymore. But you know, I could release a YouTube video and tell everyone I'm on Mixer, and you know, that might get me quite close to the top of the directory with using my YouTube channel to boost views, and all of a sudden I've got a new brand on a new platform. And I think probably a lot of people will use it as a new way of branding. If their Twitch channels are stagnant and they aren't going anywhere and they aren't growing and they can't make it in the directory because it's too saturated, well, you've got nothing to lose by switching to a new platform that gives you better odds of being found.
100%, but what a lot of people, and I'm not aiming this at anyone. It's really not. This is just my opinion on the matter. A lot of people are getting into streaming for the wrong reasons, and they just want to make money.
Oh God, it's like being in a fucking garage band and expecting to be bloody Nirvana. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. You know, like. I had this conversation, a friend of mine was broadcasting. We were having this conversation with him, and a Twitch partner who no longer streams came in, and she said, if you get onto Twitch or Mixer looking to be the next Dr. Disrespect Ninja, blah 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 blah, and make all of the money, blah, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. Started as a hobby, and you know, it is what it is. Like the three of us, we don't do it for money. We all work in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. You know, like there's no. Do it because you like to play games and talk to people, not because you want to make money. And I think a lot of people are getting into that mindset that they're joining up on Twitch, and I've had to talk to people about it as well, is that they're getting onto Twitch and Mixer. Nirvana.
Suplex your band Nirvana. You need to, unless you're doing really good covers, man. You're going fucking nowhere.
But,
sorry,
like, you know what I mean, guys. Like the Twitch. Get onto Twitch because you enjoy it. Don't get onto Twitch because you want to make money. Mixer and Twitch are both so saturated. Well, Mixer's not as saturated, but Twitch is so saturated as that people will see through your bullshit. And they'll just be like, yeah.
Can I say my bit on all of this?
Yeah, go for it.
It's something that like I've put a bit of thought into of recent times, especially with the bulk of my content changing tack towards covering Sea of Thieves, and you know, like I've basically, I mean, if you've been on my YouTube channel lately, you'll notice that pretty much there's no Destiny stuff there anymore, because I don't want people who are coming to it for the first time being like, what the fuck does this dude do? So I'm, you know, it's all still there. I'll probably put it back at some later time, but for now it's not. I put serious thought into where and how and why I should be streaming. I stream Plundercast through my own personal channel. It goes through Chook's personal channel on Mixer. We made that decision based on the fact that, you know, I've managed two brands effectively already with the DDU and all that sort of stuff, so I didn't want to have another fucking account to manage. Maybe that's just laziness on my part, but, you know, be that as it may. I've looked into, I listened to Broman's podcast with Tim Havelock on it, Darkness 429 with Facebook. I thought that was very interesting. A big player coming in and looking at the live streaming stuff, you know, it's, you know, you got to take that sort of shit seriously. Mixer I've considered as well, given that it's Microsoft, and basically because Sea of Thieves is ultimately Microsoft's flagship title at the moment. The thing that the sort of conclusion that I've come to is that while going over to Mixer right now seems like greener pastures, and it may well work out for some people, is that ultimately you go over there and you look at the numbers of people in every games directory, and it is completely and utterly dwarfed by the viewers on Twitch. Now, it is incredibly hard to rise from the bottom of a directory on Twitch. I'd say that it's you know, it's not something I put deliberate effort into, but if I was streaming every day and it was my goal to be doing that, it would do my head in. So I totally understand why people are changing tact, but at the same time, the numbers in the grand scheme of things aren't anywhere except on Twitch. You know, you've got subscriptions on YouTube. That's fine, but you know, YouTube gaming doesn't work because people go to YouTube to watch videos, not watch live streams. Clearly, I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, I'm sure it's worked to some extent. Matt, you've had experience with it in the past and got, you know, large numbers of viewers, but at the same time, I just don't think it's set up as well as Twitch. I think Twitch has become synonymous with live streaming gaming. It is the thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like the McDonald's with burgers, you know, like, yeah, sure, there's other burger joints, but the biggest one's McDonald's, at least in Australia anyway. You know, you talk about eating shit food, Macca's is the first thing you talk about. With Facebook, I was probably most interested in that because it's the social media platform with the most users. You know, if you can get in front of people anywhere, there's a billion people on it. Like there is, you know.
I just tuned into a stream on Mixer then. I don't know if this is true because I caught the back end of a conversation, and the streamer just said if you're watching on your Xbox, you can subscribe for free. Hit the sub button.
Oh, wow, that's a huge...
I don't know.
All right, never mind. Cancel everything I just said. I'm going to Mixer right now.
You know, and this is like the Amazon partnership that fucking blew Twitch to the next level with Amazon Prime and doing clever things like that. You know, with Microsoft behind it, they need to do a couple clever things like that. And holy shit, because I think Xbox is coming back. I think Xbox is coming back with a fury, and they've sort of been under PlayStation for a little bit now. And I think they can have a real. Start screwing up his face. What exclusives? Xbox have missed out on so many exclusives. I don't think they've had their heyday. They haven't had their next Halo, their next their console seller for Xbox.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about, and yeah,
I
get you to a point.
Agree.
To a point, yeah, I do agree to a point. The one thing that people need to realize as well is that this is all awesome. This all looks incredible. It looks like it's a lot of fun and all that sort of thing. But what I'm saying is that Microsoft have a very, very bad habit. If you are looking to make this your sole source of income, to cancel projects with no warning.
Yeah, you don't want to be on. You don't want to be on fucking flagship Zune. They do that, and they do that, and they've done it with major game franchises. They've done it with so much stuff in the past that, you know, if it's not working out.
Studios.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Fable, all that stuff. I mean,
this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that you do what makes you happy. You're talking to two people who have one person who has only been on Twitch in regards to their content creation, one person over here who is Matthew, who has been on YouTube and Twitch, and this bullfed up here who has been on all three. You know, like...
Oh, dude, I haven't even been on Mixer since it became Mixer. I was on it when it was Beam.
No, I know, but like, do what makes you happy. If you are listening to this and you are a budding streamer on Twitch and you're looking to make the cross to Mixer, do what makes you happy. But just be aware that Twitch isn't going anywhere. Mixer has a little bit of things badges to earn, I guess you could say.
Well, you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, this is always the question, right? Is a new product comes out, doesn't matter what that product is. If it's a live streaming service, if it's a new phone, if it's a new doesn't matter, whatever the product is. And there will be people that take a risk and are the first adopters of that product. And if that product becomes successful, they rise with it, right? It's like a game as well as a product, right? People who got on Fortnite early and mastered those skills, you know, did really well on Twitch. So Mixer is a new product, and you need to ask yourself, do you want to take the risk of adopting that new product? And are you betting that that new product will succeed? And if it doesn't succeed, you put your eggs in that basket, and that's okay. And you move on into something else. And if it does, yippee. I mean, that's what you're hoping for.
But there are also people out there who will 100% say, this is my livelihood, where they don't, there's no affiliate program over there or anything like that. So I can't really say that. Say most of my thought process there, but it is, just be careful, guys. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying.
The other thing is too that if you know someone who is giving this shit a go, so just support them. Like, it costs nothing really.
Yeah,
just go over and
100%.
Fuck, leave a tab open. I mean, I've been doing it a bit with a few of the guys that we know that are doing it, because to have the sack or lady sack to just go, no, you know what, I'm gonna start afresh, and I'm gonna take the loss now and hopefully build something better somewhere else. I applaud someone for taking the initiative to do that to begin with, because it's fuck, I haven't done it.
I think the other thing to consider with, like, if you are already established on Twitch and you're not growing, I would be concerned that if you're hoping this new platform will fix that, because there could be things that you should be doing on Twitch to grow.
Yeah,
and if you do have an already sort of a base, if people aren't watching, there's a reason for that. And that's what I've been trying to work out with my Twitch, and that's why I've set some goals, and I've set some things like, if I achieve this, that, and whatever, and my goals are very much more motivation. Just I'll be happy if I stream regularly, and that will make me happy to stream 5 times a week for X amount of hours, and I'll do that for 6 months. And then we'll reassess of where it is and see if we've seen any growth. And I can go back and look at those statistics. And if you're stagnant, I wouldn't place all your bets on moving to another platform to improve.
And that's the thing that I'm sort of really worried about, is that a lot of people think, oh, Mixer sounds pretty good. I heard K Magic's over there. Let's he's absolutely just destroying it over there. I'm going to destroy it over there too. But you're comparing apples to fucking Logitech headsets. So you can't compare yourself to Twitch partners. You can't compare yourself to people who have been doing this since JTV. Following forward exactly from what we were talking about last week. Ninja killing it on Fortnite and all of his triumphs and trophies on Twitch is like, well, what's the line that you say? High water raises all ships, or some shit like that.
High tide raises all ships, buddy. High tide raises all ships.
So there's that, and again, congratulations to the man. But a lot of people, there've been a lot of articles have been written of late where they're like, he makes $500,000 a month. And a lot of people are like, oh, shit, streaming's that easy? And I'm going to paraphrase a friend of mine. He is a amateur actor, I guess you could say. And he said, people are like, I'm going to try out Twitch and make all the money. And he said, well, would you try out acting for the same reason? No? Then why would you try out Twitch? It's just basically the same fucking thing. You need to be entertaining to gain a community. You need a community to back you and support you. And if you are just there, just to make money, then people are going to see right through you, and they're just going to fuck right off.
It's an interesting thing. Like, is this just, when, I don't know. I'm sure there was a point where it was really cool to be like, it is still cool to be an actor, but I think less cool now. But do you know when acting or movies sort of got big and everyone's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to be an actor, and I'm going
to move to Los Angeles, Hollywood.
Is this the next generation? Is this the next generation of acting? Is this the next job that everyone wants?
Of course it is. Of course it is. I reckon at any given time there'd nearly be more fucking Twitch streamers than viewers. Really, people who have a Twitch account and are like, oh, I tried it for a month and I didn't get famous, so I gave up. How many accounts do you reckon are out there that people have done for that? You've only got to go and just scroll down. You can just go and get in any game and fucking scroll down endlessly into the people with no viewers that are there streaming, and God bless them, they're trying, but it's just fuck, man. It's a lightning strike. It's exactly what I said. Like, if you are jumping into this trying to get rich, it's go and play in a fucking rock band or become a rapper. The odds are the same. There's the 1% make a career out of it, and 99% of the rest of us toiling bastards don't. So just do it for the love of it, and at least that way you'll be doing something you love.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said to my stream. I said I'm going to stream for 6 months, with this routine, and the worst case scenario is I play a shit ton of games.
Exactly, and you have a good time.
Worst case scenario.
And if you're playing Vermintide with me and Sloth on Saturday nights, you'll pickle your liver also.
That was fun.
All right, is there anything else we want to discuss?
Hey, no, I want to hear your thoughts on Sea of Thieves. Can give us a brief.
Oh, yeah.
Look, me, I'm loving it. I am sure that no one will be absolutely stunned to hear me say that I'm loving it, but real talk for a minute, it's catching a lot of shit online just for the depth of content that's in it. And it's back. We're back to I'm reading these articles and going, oh my god, this fucking. It's like Groundhog Day with Destiny, right? It's exactly the same arguments. But I think the thing with Sea of Thieves is it's a polarizing game, and you either get it or you don't. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with not getting it. It either appeals to you or it doesn't, right? I saw Goff put out a tweet, and he's like, I love this game for probably the same reason that most people don't. Like, it is that game where if you can get in and, the thing that I've always done, and it's probably been my Achilles heel with respect to streaming, is that I always have a group of mates with me, and I get caught up in that, and I forget to fucking talk to chat and all that sort of shit. It is the game for that. It is the game for fucking around with your mates and just having a laugh and not being particularly serious about anything. It is glorious for that. But if you are getting into it expecting some kind of pirate fucking MMO or RPG kind of demographic thing that's what you want, you aren't going to get it. The quests are quite repetitive, I'll admit that. I mean, there's things that, Tower and I, who's on Plundercast with me, we've spoken, we're probably going to, we're not going to put the boot in this coming episode, but we're definitely going to discuss the things that we think need to be improved, because they do need to be improved if this game is to have legs long term. But for the most part, I've been having an absolute fucking ball with it, man. Like, just some of the stupid adventures that I've found myself in over the course of the not even week now that it's been out since in full release is it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm just waiting for the first pirate legend to come along, the first person who's progressed through the entire system.
Well, I think from what I played it twice, but I did play for long hours, and I was streaming as well, and I played with Sloth, like a duo, and then I played in a team of 4 with Sassy and that, and I had a lot of fun with Sloth. And I actually think duos are one of the best things, because you get a bit of a mix of both. You get shit talk, but also I just felt like there was a little bit more things to do when there was only 2 of you. When you've got 4 people on the ship, sometimes I found I was just a little bit bored with. But when you've got 2, someone's managing the sails, someone's steering, someone's loading cannons. So I feel like there was just a little bit more things to sort of keep you occupied as you go through the motions, and I guess in general, I felt I haven't done a lot of tasks, but I felt like they were going in the same direction of just go here, collect this, bring it back to port. I think it has a wicked foundation, an amazing, gorgeous environment. It is unique in regards to ships and naval battle. Like, what other thing in the market has that? But I think there almost needs to be other modes. Like, I would love to go into a ship battle mode and have that as an arena and to, because I always wanted to get into ship fights because it's hilarious. Yeah. But the thing is, like, if you've got treasure, you want to get back to port. If they got treasure, they want to get back to port. And I found there was a lot of chasey games, and it was only like if no one had treasure, then they're like,
Yeah,
boom,
then no one
5.
gives a fuck, and it's just
And
it's
then
on.
no one, and then you get these epic moments. I feel like there needs to be something to encourage more of that. And if people don't want to engage, they don't need to, and I think that's reasonable too, because you don't. There should be an option to flee if you want. So I sort of feel like I wanted to have more ship battles, and there was a lot of downtime in between quests, and the quests were a little bit repetitive.
Yeah, I mean, they are very repetitive, and I think that's probably really the bane of the game at the moment. They are effectively fetch quests, or go here, kill this, or go here, dig this up, or go here, catch this chicken. That's really all there is to it.
They never had any sort of. They never had any sort of. They never lied or said anything that the game was going to be anything more than that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest strength of the game. And like touching on what Matt said, it was the first thing I thought of when you mentioned like Fortnite having a really solid foundation and then a whole team of people being able to focus on iterating on it and keeping it interesting. Because I think that will be the proof in the pudding for Sea of Thieves. And, they may be able to do it, they may not be able to do it, I don't know. But if they can keep the content coming and keep, fresh experiences coming frequently enough in that sandbox, it'll be fucking incredible. But, that remains to be seen. I mean, there has been issues so far. There's been a lot of scaling issues. I think the fact that they released it in Games of Gold or whatever it is, the Game Pass, sorry, and a lot of people could effectively get in and try it for free or very little money, has led to this sort of situation where a lot of people who weren't really interested in it sort of jumped in. They did their betas and scale tests and got like fucking so many more people in the actual full release. So I don't know. I think that they're, where it is now, if you can go in and have fun with your friends, you'll go in and have fun with your friends. If you're playing it solo, it can be nasty. I'll fully say that. Like, you got to look at it like solo is hard mode. Solo is hard mode. If you bump into someone. Yeah, I enjoyed it as well.
Because, like, I had to do everything. And tell me this, I'm pretty sure the cannons function different on a solo ship compared to the galleon.
I think they move a little bit quicker.
I don't think they have as much arc. I think they help you because they go straighter. Because I remember aiming at a galleon and I hit 4 shots. And I was like, frick, man, they didn't even arc. They almost went straight. So I think that gives solo players a bit of an advantage in their armory because obviously you've got less cannons and you can't pilot the ship whilst you're...
Well, you would know on the arc of the sloop guns, man, after being shot across the fucking top of the ocean because you wouldn't fucking behave.
See, that kind of emergent gameplay where you learn to hate your friends. You know what we did? I jumped on last night and I didn't stream. Rachel jumped on and I played with her, my wife of 6 years today. There you go. Plug, put that in the podcast. But we played, another one of my mates that hadn't played before jumped in and keg. So there was 4 of us in a galleon and it was basically like this 2-hour tutorial of going around explaining to them what everything did because it's that kind of game that doesn't hold your hand. And probably one of the funniest things that came out of it was we came back to an outpost and there was a sloop, like a little boat there. And I just said, well, pull up the anchor. This is where you're going to learn how to use the cannons. And got the 2 newbies on the cannons and they just blasted the shit out of this boat. And this guy comes running out off the island and he's like, hey, stop. He goes, this is the first time we've played it. And I'm like, really? You never played it before? No. All right, get on. I'll show you how to do it. So I ended up with like this fucking school of people. Just like, this is how you shoot the cannons. This is, this is the first lesson is this is how you get drunk and everyone's just down below deck vomiting and stuff like that. And I think like in that way, Sea of Thieves is unlike anything else. Like the fact that you can just, we had these 2 dudes on our ship that we could have killed us at any moment. We could have killed them at any moment. But people choose to just do what they do. Hey, let's make friends, no worries. One of them, the character models are like all ugly or really, really incredibly good looking. So it's just confusing and weird to begin with. But I don't know. I think that sort of typifies what it's all about. It's just what it is. You either enjoy that sort of thing or you don't.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping it's gonna be like Fortnite. They got the foundation game. This is like the PvE mode of Fortnite that released, and like people I can see the potential, but it's not quite there yet. I think they've got the foundation. Like inject something into it, and hopefully it'll take off.
Just just remember I know that I don't have to tell you two, but ladies and gentlemen in the comments and ladies and gentlemen on Twitter and all that sort of thing, the game has been out for less than 7 days.
Yeah.
Less than 7 days. Relax.
Dude, I saw shit about, there's not enough content day one. Like, how do
There's
you know
not enough content. I've only been at level 4 and across all the traders.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the quests, the trader quests do, like, get more interesting the more you go on, but they're still effectively the same thing. So I can totally understand why people are over it. But at the same time, it's like, that's what gets you out and moving, but really it's the shit that you bump into on your way. Like, if you were just doing the quests, like, all right, I'm going here now. Okay, I'm going back to the outpost. I'm going to this island. I'll go back to the outpost and turn it in.
Oh, God, there's something over here. I better do that.
It's just boring, you know?
Pull your fucking neck in. Like, listen, all right, I said something absolutely profound the other day about the game. I can't remember.
I can toot your own horn.
Log was like, I wish I was recording that. And I was like, no, you don't. But anyway, you know, like, it is what it is. But, you know, the thing that people need to remember is that you make your own fun in games. Don't just do it as a checklist. If you want to RP it. If you want to fucking go out around with friends and fucking destroy people's games, like destroy people just for being an arsehole, then do that. Whatever makes you happy.
I will say this. The most satisfying moment of my gaming career occurred the other night when I was playing with Sloth and Tower. When we got absolutely owned by this fucking galleon, right? We turned up to a skeleton fort. We sunk them. They come back and sunk us twice, and it turned into this shit fight. And then no one ended up doing the skeleton fort. It ran out. And they were like sailing off. And I am up in the crow's nest going, right, let's go after these assholes. And Sloth and Tower were like, we can't be bothered. The Kraken just comes up and fucks them. And they're gone in like 15 seconds. It just went bang and pulled them under, and it was over. And I'm like, that was the first I'd seen of it. It was from a distance. I'm like, what the fuck? So we did the only sensible thing we could do and sail straight into the Kraken, and we're like fighting it for fucking half an hour and getting nowhere. And we ended up just sailing away. It was just stupid.
It was so much fun.
It was like divine Kraken justice.
I think that the respawn is I might need to look into because
I agree.
we often got into battles where you have like.
Listen, let's save it for next week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I've got a whole other fucking podcast to talk about all this shit on. You'll have to come on as guests.
Let's save it. Let's save it for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Sure. Just, I hate to be rude and interrupt you, but let's save it for next week because there's a lot of things that we could talk about in that game, but let's save it for next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Please consider hitting that like button, or if you'd like to sub for some more Destiny-based and then gaming-based content of recent weeks, make sure you hit that sub button. Let us know what you think about the Twitch versus Mixer jump. If you are on those particular platforms as a viewer or a broadcaster, please let us know in the comments below. It's definitely worth. I definitely would like to hear your opinion, or tweet at us on Twitter at DDU_podcast or at Mylan Games or at Log Power Slave, or you can tweet at me, but you probably get a response because I'm fucking lazy. But guys, thank you very much. If you're listening on SoundCloud,
anything, just say anything because it goes out. It gets disseminated everywhere.
Yeah, if you're listening on one of our audio dissemination outlets, thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening, and please let us know what your favourite part of the podcast is on Twitter.
And if there's anything you want us to discuss, please, because like at the moment, obviously things are a little bit different. We're not covering that much. I mean, there's not that much Destiny to cover, so we're kind of an open forum at the moment. So if you've got a point you'd like us to expound upon, we are at your service.
And ladies and gentlemen, just for reference, the Destiny Down Under brand isn't going to change.
Yeah, we are.
I think we've come to the conclusion that Destiny Down Under is just where we met, where the podcasters come from. I think this is.
Can I make a funny suggestion?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we just put a red line through Destiny so it just becomes Down Under podcast?
Shut the fuck up.
Nah, dude, that is a fun. I'm getting Keg to do it. I'm getting...
just you know, like the red scribble, like or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I'll put him together, put a line through it, and then just write stuff above it. Things
Stuff
down under.
Wait.
Stuff.
Stuff down under could be construed. That's on the different webs. That's
do you know what you need to?
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Do you know what we need to do? Put it onto a scene, and when we finish talking Destiny, you just hit your button, and it will just cross out Destiny, and then we head into the game.
And then we're right. Okay. Yeah. No, consider it done. Consider it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Please check out Log and Mylan's Twitch streams at twitch.com/Mylan Games and Log Power Slave. And if you want to follow me, I'm there as well. It doesn't really matter. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Mylan, if you could take away with your creepiness, we could definitely do that.
The Kraken will find you.
Ooh!
Usually does.
It usually does. Usually does. Don't carry too much treasure. That's the takeaway point, kids. All right. See you next week. Bye!